everyone, my name is Red, and I'm here today to talk to you about what exactly you can do when the season is over. Here in Minnesota, the season is very much over. It's very cold. There's no snow yet, but the road has been salted twice or three times already, so it's pretty dirty in terms of debris on the road. Probably in different states or in different countries you still can ride, but for those of you who cannot anymore, or for those of you who don't have motorcycles but still want to buy one, it's a great opportunity or great timing for you to start researching for the next season so that you're prepared and you can ride as soon as the great weather starts to dominate over the crappy one. Now, let's say you have a very strict, very limited budget, for example $2,000, and you want to buy a used first motorcycle. I scoured through Craigslist searching for $2,000 motorcycles, and I found a few. So there are certain things good about those motorcycles, and there are things that are not very. I'm not saying that every single one of those I'm going to show you are terrible or have problems, but these are just ads. You have to go out and see those bikes by yourself, and especially you have to ride them. So, but why don't we start doing that right now? Alright, I hope I'm recording. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we'll start with the first one as Honda Shadow Ace 750. It says it's $2,000. It's from 2002. Condition is excellent. Mileage is, it says 9,000. However, the bike is probably being ridden, so it says 9,500. It's not a big difference. Title is clean, which is very important. Make sure there is no lien on a title. Alright, so it says very comfortable, original, never been molested. What's molested? Modded, I would say, probably. No dents in the tank. Never been laid down. Very good, very important, especially for me. I like my bikes being clean. Floorboard, foot pegs, windshield. The owner says there is a windshield, but it's not installed. It's a good addition if you decide to ride for long distances. And the wind on those bikes is pretty terrible. Because my brother's bike that I first rode was 2005 Honda Shadow Spirit. It's looking a little bit differently, but the engine and the chassis is very much the same. So it had no windshield at all whatsoever. So it says $2,000 firm. Yeah, it's reasonable price, trust me. Now, if you go look at the pictures. Pictures won't tell you much. You have to see the motorcycle yourself. But this picture is what's wrong with this picture? How do you think? It has an LED underglow. I'm not sure why it's been installed. If it is, it's probably been installed by himself. So I'm not sure whether the quality of his installment was good or not. So you actually can negotiate the price because of that, especially if you don't want to see that LED strip under your bike. You can say if it's $1,900, not $2,000. I'm not paying you $2,000. It's $1,900 because I don't want to see that underglow. It's looking terrible, and it is in my opinion. All right, next bike is the Super Sport. It's a 1996 Kawasaki ZX 1100. and it is priced at $2,000 as well. So this bike will have a ton of horsepower, so as your first bike, be careful with it, because it'll outrun almost anything on the road. It'll be probably over 110 and 120 horsepower, something like that. It'll be very powerful. Now, it says only 19,000 miles. It sounds a lot, but if you consider the year, it's not. Two main important things that I want to mention. It's not the mileage you should be scared of, but the condition and the maintenance of the bike itself. Now, the paint is black, and it is somewhat dull, but what can you expect from 1996? It's almost, 30 years old now? No, actually, it is 30 years old. It's a little bit over then. No, what am I saying? It's 20 years old. I cannot count. Now, never beaten, never laid down. Very good. Integrated LED taillight, flush mount, LED blinkers. I hate those, and because they're not visible, they look ridiculous. But it'll be your call. Aftermarket mirrors. Yeah, probably they are. High polished aluminum wheels. Completely at about 15,000 miles. Was completely torn down, cleaned, lubed, and reassembled. So you have to question that, whether it was professionally done or just himself, whether he is the professional motorcycle maintenance person or not. You will not be disappointed, it says. Paint is stock, looks like it did back in 1996. Yeah. It's black with a hint of green flake. Can only really seen in sun. Clean, clear title. Fluids changed and ready to go. If you're still reading, it's there. The price is firm. Yeah, you have to ride it. You have to see it yourself. If you see the mismatch, you can negotiate. If the guy still does, or the girl doesn't want to negotiate still, if it's not as described, you can just walk away, especially if you don't like it. Now these are just the pictures. There's a custom cruiser or something on the back. That's a custom cruiser again. It could be the Victory, it could be very much custom. Now this bike has two tailpipes, as you can see. It's very, very classic looking. It's looking alright. That's why I chose it, because it was alright. Now the next bike is actually the bike that I mentioned in one of my videos. It's a 1987 Honda Super Magna 700. It's priced at $13.95, and it's not a joke. I kept track of this ad for a while. The guy started with 1900, then he did 1600, and then now his new price is $13.95. Can you imagine? $1,400 for this kind of bike, and it has 16,000 miles according to the ad. So it's very good. It's a very good bike, very powerful. It has, I think, over 70 horsepower, so it is something else. It has quad pipes on the back, but you can research on that yourself. Now, the picture is looking okay. I mean, the bike on the picture is looking okay, because it's only one picture. And apparently it's a storage, because the bike has a lot of room around it, and there's another bike on its left. Okay, the next picture is just showing the odometer. So it does have low miles. I would buy it for this kind of price. I would check it and buy it. Now the next bike is a dual sport. So I kind of chose everything in terms of, the first one was cruiser. If you can remember, it's Honda Shadow Ace. 750. The second one was a Super Sport. The third one is I call it Sport Cruiser, because it is very much Sport Cruiser. The Honda Super Magna 700. And this one is a dual sport. It's a Yamaha XT600, so it's pretty powerful for a dual sport. It is somewhat old, from 1991. It says the condition is excellent. The odometer is saying 10,500 miles. Clean title, very important. If the title is not clean and it says lien or something else, just walk away. You never know what this bike has been used for, as a collateral, for example, and never been paid off. Now, the owner apparently owned this bike for 17 years. No problems, new tires, very aggressive. I'm not sure what aggressive the tire is, or his riding style, or the looks of the bike. Collector license plates. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. I'm not sure why. You'll never need to buy tabs for it. Oh. But if I'm not mistaken, guys, the collector bike, there is a little caveat to it. You cannot ride too much on this. I'm not sure how the police or whoever checks on that, but you can do the collector plate if you drive the car or the ride motorcycle for very little. Alright, I'm only selling it because I hardly ever ride it anymore. Yeah, a lot of people say that, but be cautious. Whatever it is, ride it. Check it out. Make sure the maintenance on it was good. You have that the guy has plenty of history of what he did. If he doesn't, well, you just never know what was changed, especially with sprockets, whether the oil was changed regularly. You just never know, especially if that was aggressive riding style of his. That could be a potential problem. But overall, it's $2,000 for the bike. It's not bad at all if you want to ride it. If you want to take it home, please check it. Don't just go blindly over there and you like the bike, you just jump on it and ride away with a smile on your face. You have to check it. You have to look everything, or at everything. Check everything. But that's pretty much it. This is what you can do in terms of preparation yourself for another season that's coming in next year. So for here in Minnesota, you have to wait for a while. It'll be probably 4 to 5 months before I have to, or I happen to ride my motorcycle outside. But anyways, hope you enjoyed it. I hope I gave you some insight to on what to look for on those deals. Craigslist is somewhat sketchy, but can be useful if you're wise enough, and if you look for the things you know. Just read anything you can on the web. You'll have plenty of checklists, what to do, how to buy a first motorcycle. I won't go through it because it's very personal, and it could be a very long video. So I showed you 4 motorcycles, used motorcycles from Craigslist. It should give you a starting point if you want to buy your first motorcycle, but I guess we'll see you guys in the next episode. Take it easy, and goodbye.